Afternoon, everybody. How we doing? Back again. Another New York session. Let's see if we get some movement today on that S&P and NAS. Preferably up. Let's see what happens. How's everybody's morning been? Anybody smashed it this morning? Fair bit of movement this morning. Finally got some US dollar movement. We're just about to get a reversal alert on the 4 hour, hopefully. See if this holds, but yeah, we'll see. Morning, Corey. Morning, Jacob. Corey, got a question. Purchased the market reversal dashboard, and I've already caught my first trade. Watched the video on strategies and like the pullback strategy. Cool, excellent. One question I have: my dashboard doesn't have all the assets that I trade. Will they still appear in the notifications? No. I haven't banked anything today, by the way. Yet. Reversal dashboard. If you want your instruments on there, go into settings and look at the pairs list and add everything you want in your pairs list. Yeah, so that is what controls what is shown. So trim it down. I would trim it down to whatever you use. The more you put in here, the more load it's going to put on your machine and the more difficult it is going to be to run. Yeah, this is quite a processor intense indicator because it's monitoring multiple pairs across multiple time frames for multiple conditions. Yeah, so with the Aussie dollar CAD, it's monitoring 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 conditions across 6 time frames. So keep your list fairly short. I just go with the majors and the minors. But if you want to put everything on there, you can do. But I'd just be aware, if you haven't got a decent machine, i5, i7 processor or higher, you probably struggle. So, but that's where you put them. Just comma separated. And exactly as they appear in your symbol list here. Yeah. So if you've got a broker that puts suffixes on, like this, for example, smp.fs, if all of your symbols were the same, you would put the pair suffix as .fs. Can't type that small with this thick pen. But that's how you would do it. Yeah. So. Smashed S&P, smashed at SP and NAS. Oh dear. Well, hopefully we can sort that out this afternoon. US dollar Swiss just came up and is bullish, but RSI is at 50. Did I set it up incorrectly? US dollar Swiss. What do you mean by US dollar Swiss just came up and is bullish? Which time frame? M15 probably. There? Don't know. Anyway, Don, clarify what you mean there. Closed out Swiss yen from before Christmas with a little profit. Just really glad to have that one off the board, yeah. You get those ones, and the yens are the nasty ones. The yens are always the ones that get you. Yeah, that's good. Close that one out, good. Swissy, we've had some decent movement on. So, obviously, we've got a strong Swiss franc at the moment. I said on Monday, Tuesday, we're getting a strong Swiss franc. We've got it. We've just been waiting a hell of a long time for it to come through. So the yen is obviously very strong at the moment. You see the yen is actually pushing the Swiss franc down. But all the Swissies are coming down very, very nicely. My Euro Swiss is in profit now. Might take a little bit off of that today. Pound US, so covering what I've got on at the moment. Euro Swiss, I've got short. Pound US, I've got short as well. I have to think then. And nice M pattern formation there on the 4 hour. Just had a reversal alert on the hourly and a retest. US dollar yen, I've got long. First position on that, long. Coming down. I told you I didn't want to take this morning, didn't I? I hate the US dollar yen. It's almost on my list of I'm not going to trade you anymore as the US dollar yen. It always gets me. Anyway. Corey, M15. So you trade US dollar Swiss M15 short. Yeah? Correct. Just had a reverse alert short on it. You just had a retest alert on M5. Right. So let's have a look at what's happened today. News-wise, we've just had retail sales. No one's been shopping in America, apparently. So retail sales, let me just refresh because it's not loaded. All negative. And not just negative, very negative. We were forecasting flat and slightly positive from pretty much flat, and it's 2% down. So yeah, bad news for the US dollar. So impact wise, US dollar index short term obviously hasn't gone anywhere. So we've not really had any impact to the news. As I said in the Telegram group, it's likely we haven't had impact because we have had this collapse. There's nothing left to drop on the US dollar. All the shorts are wanting to get out of their shorts. So, negative US dollar news does not mean US dollar is coming down. It means it's negative US dollar news. Doesn't have a direct impact on the US dollar. It will have an impact from a volatility perspective with the market makers able to dump their orders around that area. But just because there's bad retail sales doesn't mean the bank is just going to suddenly try and devalue the US dollar. So again, don't pay too much attention to the news. Use it for volatility and use it for them starting moves. But no real impact on that one. The pound US dollar that I've got on at the moment has come down fairly nicely in London. We just managed to crack those lows, but we're just putting tweezer bottoms in at the moment. I just noticed on my other monitor. So we'll see how that holds up. We have taken out yesterday's low, which obviously sometimes is indicative of a stop hunt. I would expect some US dollar strength this afternoon with Jewett. We haven't had it for a while, so I'm looking for a TP back down at this support on that one. Right, so that's what I've got on at the moment. I've obviously got NAS longs, I've got S&P longs. We'll have a look at those in a minute when the market opens. But looking at what we've got today so far, quite a few ADR hits today. We'll go through these and have a look at where we are with those. Let me just scroll out a little bit so we can see a bit better. So starting off with the Aussie dollar Swiss, that's come down and pinged directly off of ADR perfectly. So we had this little push in London, liquidity run up here, took the stops out and then dropped it. Straight down to ADR. This is Swiss franc strength. Looking at the other Aussies, they've also been weak actually. So it's a combination. Yeah, fairly weak Aussie. So yeah, Aussie Swiss, very nice drop. Always look at it on the higher time frame. Yeah, we are bearish on this one. So it's up to you whether you want to be taking longs against that kind of move. We are due a pullback. We're not quite extended on the 4-hour RSI. If we were down kind of here and I got an ADR hit, I'd be very interested in that. But it's a 72 bounce for me, this one. Yeah, beautiful M pattern, market reversal, alert, structure break there, drop down. We are probably due a pullback on this one. So it is a good long, but he is standing in front of a little bit of a steam train there, so I'll be a bit careful of that one. Aussie dollar yen, same thing. Yen strength and Aussie dollar weakness combined, big drop. Again, not quite extended. We're going to look at these on the 4-hour RSIs in a minute, but ADR reversals are a much more risky trade if you're position trading. If you're stop trading, no problem whatsoever. But if you're position trading, ADRs are actually a little bit more risky to take. And I like to take ADR reversals in line with where I think price is going to go. I've got no real directional bias on the Aussie yen. So it's a nice looking long out of the bottom there. Beautiful 3-bar reversal gone in on M5 on the 125 ADR level. So plenty of room. This is where you'd be heading as potential resistance. So nice big pull back up into this gap. So very decent amount of room, but reversal alert, you're not going to get it until there, just because of the speed of this move. It's quite a big, strong move down that one, isn't it? So you could get in there. Depends how you have your indicator set up. So if you have it set up, we're using wicks to the left, that's false. You'll get a tighter rectangle. I prefer to use normally the candle before, so this entire move getting reversed, but that's mainly because I'm trading higher time frames most of the time. So, but lower time frames, obviously, if you're scalping, you get tighter rectangles and tighter support areas. So you get an entry in there. So Aussie yen looking pretty good for a reversal. Nice price action off of that 125 level. But we have just taken out this low, so potentially we could be dropping a little bit further. But it's going to need to pull back at some point, and this is where it's probably going to come to the Asian lows, filling this gap here. So looking pretty good. Euro yen, short the euro. I never long the euro. If you want to take that, take it, but not for me. Starting to pull off nicely at the moment off of the 125 area. Hasn't quite got to it, but I'm always looking to short the euro rather than long it. New Zealand dollar yen, while we're on the subject of yens, come down very hard. So the New Zealand dollar and the Aussie dollar all had bad days today. The yen has been strong as well. So things like the New Zealand dollar yen obviously is a perfect storm. Weak New Zealand, strong yen, big drop. So that one's hit 125 ADR. Nice big drop on that one. Again, just taking out the lows. So again, with these, obviously don't trade both of them. Yeah, Aussie yen and New Zealand yen, they're both the same thing. Don't trade the two, trade one or the other. And take your pick on them if you're going to take those. US dollar yen long, already in this one. Lovely to see it hit ADR. It's too close for me to get into a second position down here. We're only 28 pips in. We're a rough, just under half an ADR away from where I took my first entry. So a little bit too close for me to take a second one on it. But that's nicely extended. And the pound odd, that's a nice long, that US dollar yen. That's my favourite ADR of the day so far. And pound odd obviously pushed up based on the Aussie dollar weakness. I wanted to see this one get down to here for long opportunities, but it didn't quite get down there. So, yeah, Aussie unfortunately has weakened and pushed that one back up there. So it is a nice ADR hit to the upside again. There's no directional bias on this from a COP perspective. We are short on both of those currencies as far as the futures market's concerned. So, yeah, don't really... That one's probably a nice ADR reversal to take. Don't want to wait for an alert on it, but nice level and nice drop down to this sort of area down there into this chop. So looking good. Nicely extended on the M5 as well. So that's all of those. So there's a few of those hit. US dollar yen I think is my favourite because I'm wanting some US dollar strength. I say wanting, expecting some US dollar strength to come through. So that would be pretty good. But all of them obviously will reverse. So all these ADR reversals every day. When you get to these extremes, there's a high probability of a pullback. So you can play any of them, but just be wary and don't take them all. Obviously, because a lot of these will be very, very similar moves based off the same currencies. RSI extensions. Not a lot to report from this morning. US dollar yen, obviously we are still extended on the 4 hour because we have pushed down from where we were this morning. So we're now up to the 20s, below the 20s and pushing. So looking really, really good. Euro Swiss, load of alerts just gone off on the dashboard. Where did Euro Swiss go? Yeah, Euro Swiss just hit ADR. Which I'm short on. No, it wasn't Euro Swiss that hit. What just hit there? Oh, maybe it wasn't. That's right. Ignore me. So RSI is obviously US dollar yen. Very nice extended. This level here is what we were looking at yesterday. So you've obviously got all these lines drawn on here for support. This is a really, really nice area of chop. Remember I said if we don't hold the 72, this is where I would expect us to get down to get the bounce. If we can get down to 100 to 125, that's really a nice looking area for a bounce, which is exactly where we are at the moment. So looking for some kind of pullback on this move up into there, which obviously is where I will get out. So really nice still, that US dollar yen, very extended. You can easily get into that as a mean reversion back up into it's got, I mean, this could go anywhere. US dollar has got the potential to go basically as high as we want it, really. But obviously with the US dollar yen, the yen can power up just as much as the US dollar, and in a lot of cases more. So it's a more difficult one to trade, slightly lower ADR than some of the others. So, but yeah, looking good for longs down there. So you can drop down onto lower time frames, look for reversal alerts, jump in on those. US dollar Swiss, very extended. Somebody got into this one this morning. This is a really, really good, nice level down here. So we got these 3 levels here. Yeah, where we've tapped into, we broke through that. We got this beautiful double bottom there, which has been respected multiple times. We tapped into that, put in a doji and a 3-bar reversal, broke down through it, bullish engulfing back through it. So this looks like the area that's holding at the moment. We've just tapped into it to the pip again, and we are still there now. So if that fails, down there is where we're coming. But this is a lot of buying pressure here. So we should see the move start. And obviously after an 8-hour drop like that, there's a lot of people that are going to need to hit that buy button to get out of their positions. So looking really good, US dollar Swiss for a long. But obviously we need some US dollar strength to come through, and obviously the Swiss franc to calm down a little bit, basically. So yeah, looking really good on US dollar Swiss as well for a long. But that one's only just really extended now. We were extended better on that one. We were kind of up in this level at the 25. And we're obviously going into a bit of a consolidation now, but it's going to want to move up there. Pound US dollar. Just missed the reversal alert on this one. If you're on a different broker to me, you may well have got it, but very, 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 very close, this one. So obviously you can see where my TP is down at this potential support. Lovely M forming. Just looks really, really good for a drop. Where it's going, nobody knows. If we get that US dollar strength coming through, we're more likely to get an elevator shaft coming back down to the 72. So waiting on that one for a drop. But yeah, nicely extended still. Easy to get into that one, pound US dollar. And euro yen. Dropped back down to the 72 and holding. That's 125 ADR. So potentially that one's not looking too bad either. But obviously I do not long the euro. We've come back to this area here. So it's potentially a very nice little bounce point, but I'll be looking more to short it when we get the pullback on that one. So that's it for the 4 hours. Nothing much else on there today. Obviously we got into stuff already based off the RSI extensions. So a lot of those are starting to play out or have played out this week already. The hourlies, there's an awful lot more happening because we've had decent strength of movement on the yens and the Aussies. So most of these, obviously, as you can see, are based off of yen, New Zealand and Aussie. So shorter term traders taking hourlies with M5 entries. Aussie dollar CAD. This has just completed. Be a bit careful of this one. It's a bit of a funny, I don't know, it's just really weird structure, this. We've pulled back down into this buying area where obviously we rejected and all the buyers stepped in. We took out these highs, so we put new market structure in. We've got a low, we've put in a new high here. We've pulled back, we're putting in a higher low, which is great. So the next move will be kind of up into this area here. For a higher high. But I just don't like this price action, the way that we had this big, strong move. Normally, when you get a move starting, you get the move and then you get the pullback profit take, and then you get the second move and then you get the pullback profit take. This just went into this weird consolidation for a day and then just dumped, which is just odd price action. It's come back into this area here, which is where the buying move started, and we are looking like we're getting a rejection. So we're extended. We've had it. You can tell there's been a lot of strength to push it back down here, but it just looks weird to me. So I'm not 100% sold on this move. It probably is the start of a push up, but the fact that all the Aussies have been so weak today is just a little bit worrying. I would expect this sort of move if we'd have got up here. So that we've got some kind of resistance to bounce off, but there's nothing really to bounce off there. There's no reason for that to be such a weird looking pullback. So undecided on the Aussie CAD really, but technically, yeah, it's extended. We've pulled back perfectly. Zoom in. Pulled back perfectly into this wick. Yeah, so this is obviously the sell. This is this big buy area here. Is where we initially started. This is the propulsion candle that started that move. The hour before that is exactly where we've tapped into. So all the buyers that created this move here are all sitting in here defending this area. So good looking area, but obviously just be careful of this area because it could push it back down again. So it's difficult to tell. Very difficult to tell what's going on with this one at the moment. But it's long. Aussie dollar CAD. Aussie dollar Swiss. Obviously, Swiss franc strength coupled with Aussie dollar weakness has pulled this one really far down. Nicely extended. Definitely due a pullback. Got lovely wicks to the downside. You've probably missed the entry. You know, you've not quite got it yet. So just about to get the entry on this one. Hardly anything on it. It says 46 ADR. It's a tiny little ADR. So you're looking at sort of 20 pips, 15 pips before you get some potential resistance. Could well come back up 20 odd pips. But you can see, obviously, big strong move. So when you get this sort of movement that strong and then we sit down here like this, usually you will find that pullback will start and you get these V-shaped recoveries. So the V-shaped recovery and the A-shaped recovery tends to be after a strong solid move like that, and then we just basically get the whole thing reversed. So potential for that to happen today on the Aussie Swiss, but it's going to mean the Swiss franc's got to weaken up, and obviously the Aussie isn't traded as much during the New York session as the US dollar and the other currencies, so we might have to wait until Asia for that, which will obviously be on Monday. So again, massively extended though, just hasn't managed to get anywhere. Same massively extended on M5, it's massively extended and embedded, but it's just not managed to get anywhere yet. So again, these Aussies I'm not convinced on really, but again, 125 ADR, nicely extended. This one's way more extended than the rest because of the yen strength. And again, if the US dollar powers up, I would expect potentially the yen to power up alongside it, which again would be negative for Aussie dollar yen. So tricky one to call, very tricky one to call these Aussies. But yeah, pull back Asian lows, look for 40 odd pips out of that potentially in New York. Euro odd. Tweezer tops, very nice. Just tapped into the highs though. Euro odd's a nice looking short. I've got Euro Swiss on at the moment. Do I fancy the Euro odd as well? Very sideways, isn't it? I don't like taking trades in the middle of a range. So you'll see in one of my videos on YouTube about mean reversion and where to take your trades from. I don't like taking trades when we are hovering in the middle. Yeah, I like to take mean reversion trades at extents, at the edges of ranges. At some point, ranges will fail, but in the middle here, you've kind of got a 50-50 shot, haven't you? RSI isn't particularly extended on the 4 hourly, so this could go either way. But if you're trading on the hourly, obviously you're getting in on a lower time frame on looking for a much quicker move. So the fact that this one hasn't got far to go down to here as well, you know, you're going to get in the reversal alert and you're going to tap, you're selling directly into support, which is never a good thing to do. So it looks fairly decent from an hourly RSI extension perspective, but it's not massively extended. If this was kind of somewhere up here, I'd be very interested in shorting that. But where it is at the moment, we have got tweezer tops though, so it's looking very, very, very sell orientated. And from a market structure perspective, we're going the right way to come back down to here. So that does look like a nice little short as well. You could easily take that and just put a little stop on it up here. Tiny little trade, 17 pip stop. Your reward on it is something around about 165. So big risk reward, but you'd have to wait until Monday, Tuesday for the reward. Obviously, it's going to take a bit longer to play out. It's not going to come down there today. Well, you never know. Crazier things have happened. So yeah, it's only just extended, that one. Euro yen is way more extended on the hourly. Obviously, right down here, but I would be looking for shorts on it. Last time we got down here on the hourly, you see, this is the sort of move I was talking about with a V-shaped recovery. When you get these massive drops that are so quick, no one's got any time to react. No one gets a chance to pile into their positions. No one gets a chance to really exit their positions. It just comes down with such a rate that typically it will bounce back into a V-shaped recovery. This is what we've got. Yeah, but to do that, we're going to rely on the yen weakening. And when the yen starts to power up, it always worries me because the yen can power up and it can keep powering up. So I tend to get a little nervous of the yen, which is why I don't trade it as much. Because when you get squeezed on the yen, you know it. So it does look good, and it is very nicely extended. But you run the risk with these of going into a consolidation RSI, putting back up and then dropping again and going into another leg. So difficult one to call, but technically, yeah, it's a lovely looking reversal. You've got the RSI extension on your side. You've got the ADR extension on your side. You've got the fact that they've just done a gap fill here, which is potentially going to find more buying pressure on your side. You've got the fact that we've tapped into support on your side. It's confluence wise, this is a lovely looking trade. If it was anything but the euro, I'd be jumping on it, but I don't long the euro at the moment. Too dangerous really for me. But for you, maybe absolutely fine. Jump in. Pound odd. Kind of looked at, haven't we already? So pound odd is extended on the 4 hour. Oh no, wasn't. Sorry. No, we haven't looked at that one already. It was the other pound. So pound odd, we looked at it because it was a ADR extension, wasn't it? So ADR high. Just had a reversal alert on that one. Nicely extended on the hourly. Again, with these ADRs, when you're looking at the ADRs, when you get ADR hits, I always look for confluence. So are we extended on the 4 hour RSI? Are we extended on the hourly RSI? Are we at support, resistance areas, good selling areas? So look for confluence. This one, obviously, when you jump over to the hourly RSI dashboard and find out that it's also extended on the hourly, just gives you that extra confidence to jump in short. Because if you're already extended on the hourly, if it pushes up further, it's going to be even stronger, that pullback, and you've got high resistance there. So looks pretty good for a short, that one, based on the hourly RSI as well. And pound yen, again, it's a yen pair. They keep going on about these recoveries, but this one didn't make it, so we're well overdue. Can we take a look at pound yen? Sam's just said. Ta-da! I'm on it. So yeah, pound yen. We've got this area we're tapping into right now. We've just broken down out of this range. Yeah, so this is indicative of what's just happened with the Dixie. The US dollar broke down and the US dollar continued to go down. But like with anything, depends on what time frame you're looking at. Looking at the hourly as we are now, we're heading into an area of chop after a strong move that hasn't had a pullback. So I would expect to at least get up to here and try and break back into there. And if you're going to get rejected, you're going to come out of there like that. From a longer term perspective, we're pulling back towards the 24 moving average in an uptrend. But, you know, again, if you scroll out, look at what we're doing at the moment. There's a lot of that going on at the minute. So we could just be on our way down. But either way, you'll get some kind of reaction around the 24. on the 72 area that will get you out of the position if you're scaling into it. But H4, we are extended. So if you look at the pound yen, we've got, hasn't quite hit the ADR yet, but pound yen, we're just about to light up potentially on RSI on the 4 hour. The hourly we've obviously already got, and it's almost at ADR. So any more push on this today, I think you're definitely going to get some kind of spring back on it. New Zealand dollar yen market has just opened. We'll have a quick look at the NAS and everything in a minute. Just taking out these lows after this big strong push to the downside. We're due a pullback. You've probably missed this one, to be honest. Oh no, maybe not. Yep, haven't got it yet either. So yeah, basically big push to the upside. Look at it coming up towards these lows on the short term today, ideally. So 30 odd pips to the upside. And US dollar yen we know about. Already in that one, and we're off. And we're off. Extended bullish engulfing going in straight off of ADR. Perfect bounce. And extended on the 4 hour. Let's have a look at the NAS and the S&P. Today, difficult to tell what we're going to get. It's earnings day today for some big players. So we're coming into earnings fortnight now. So the earnings obviously are released every quarter, and they tend to take a couple of weeks to come out. So we're looking at end of December quarterly figures coming out over the next 2 weeks for lots of the top 100 techs and obviously loads of S&P 500 big players. So the pullbacks we've had, assuming we're going to get positive earnings, which the vast majority of the time we do, we will tend to see rises in the indices. And we've had a lovely little pullback on these. So way deeper than I wanted to on the NAS. Yeah, so nice pullbacks, 72 at the moment there. And obviously the NAS has pulled back down below. At the moment, we're putting in a higher low. So yeah, hopefully today we shall get some kind of push. Have I already gone through the US dollar CAD? I don't think I've covered the US dollar CAD because there was nothing on it from an extension point of view. You may probably got into this one yesterday or earlier on in the week. Reversal alert, retest, W formation up to there. Big strong push, yes. I mean, we looked at getting in the US dollar CAD. I got out of this yesterday. I had a really tight trade on this one, didn't I? So, yesterday. Hang on, let's look at yesterday, shall we? Not today. So I got in on that reversal alert, and I'm out already. So, but you can see the W in play, market structure. Yeah. Higher the time frame you come out, the easier it is to spot that beautiful W formation, and the 4 hour is clear as day. So yeah, looking good. Gary, I don't hear anything. There's no point in me saying, Gary, I can try and help you, but you can't hear me, so there's no point. I don't know, Gary. Maybe restart. Check volume. Pass. Don't know. Can't help you with that one. S&P, NAS. So, nice rejection on the open on NAS. Let's have a quick look at where we are. So, this is the first 15-minute candle. So, expectations today, from a daily perspective on these two, we've pulled down. Obviously, we're in a slight downtrend on the NAS at the moment. We had a much bigger than normal push to get us down here, and obviously we rejected all of that. So we had those nice couple of days up. Yesterday was a down day. Today we haven't really done anything but a slow grind in London, and obviously New York looks like it's completely reversing that at the moment on the NAS. S&P is still struggling a little bit, but this area here is where we need to break, and it's going to take a lot to get there today. It's a 200 ADR move to get higher market structure in on this one today. But saying that, earnings weeks are always big movers. So we do get these massive days, and obviously they do go the other way. So good earnings is just going to propel this up higher today. So I would be looking today, ideally, for a minimum of 50% retracement on the NAS up to here. Potentially we could go way higher than that if we are going to start the next rally. S&P, obviously, we're propping up the 72 at the moment. So this is, textbook what we get on the S&P. So again, same sort of thing with the S&P. I'd be looking for a retracement ending with a green candle up here somewhere. So for today, buy the dips. Obviously, we've started off with a very nice 15-minute candle on that one. On the S&P, we're doing okay. We're just about to get a reversal alert on that one. But we've got some decent selling pressure today to get through. The NAS hasn't had an issue whatsoever. It's just screamed straight through that lot. I would expect the S&P to do exactly the same. The S&P tends to follow suit. So reversal alert, we're just about to get on there. It'd be lovely if we can get a reversal alert on that, because then you can just basically take any trades that are in this pullback here. Looking good for longs today. We'll see what happens. I'm already long, so I should just be taking profit on the way up rather than getting into positions because I've already got loads on. Big day today, hopefully. Anybody got any other things they want to look at? Anything they want to discuss in particular? Any questions or anything? Any other pairs that they're in they want to have a look at? If SPY gets strong, can we expect the yen to weaken? No, they don't. They're not really related as such. I'm just going to TP on this position. So this one here. This banks me 1 point something %. So I'm just putting some money in the bank basically. You don't tend to have an awful lot of impact. What you will quite often find is the indices, the S&P and the NAS will quite often work inverse to the Dixie. So if you get a weak US dollar, you get a strengthening in the stock market. But they are powered by very different infrastrucures, obviously. Currencies are not powered so much by the stock market. They have an impact, obviously, but you won't find necessarily that one thing happening necessarily has an impact on another currency, especially something like the yen. Don't forget that they are their own economies. Each of these currencies, they have their own central banks, they have their own central governments which dictate policy, whether a currency should be inflated or deflated to encourage or discourage trade. There's hell of a lot of cogs spinning in the background. So, give me 1 sec. I'm just going to see what I've got on at the moment. I've got 1.5% on that. Just going to trail this just in case. In fact, I might just trail that anyway. In case we get a run today and we have one of those days where we just go, because we do get them. I'm just going to trail that very tight because I've got about 1% on the bank, percent available on it to bank. So. I wouldn't. I treat these as separate things. This is indices trading. I treat completely differently, as you can see, to my Forex trading. My Forex trading is the slow slog, nice, easy money, grindy, put it in the bank type stuff. This is more your dynamic, quick, in, out, more predictable style of trading. This is why everybody loves the S&P and why people trade the S&P, because as I explained this morning, if you were in this morning's video, in this morning's live room, explained how the S&P and the NAS work. They're very predictable. So you trade them differently. Forex isn't predictable. There's a lot more that can impact Forex. Also, the stock market. Obviously, the stock market can be crashed by external forces as well. So pound yen may be good for maybe a good day for a trade. I mean, it depends what you want to do with the pound yen. I mean, I don't know. It's a difficult one. Yen looks to be weakening as buyers pumping. Yeah, market activity will switch. So what they tend to do is they will work a currency. So you tend to see currencies moving, which is, today's been a yen day and a Swiss day and an Aussie day. Nothing much has happened on the other currencies. So when the market opens, obviously they'll start to pump into the stock market. So there'll be a load of stock stuff going on. So that what they do is they just lately take their foot off the gas on the currency trading, and therefore it looks like something's weakening. It's not. It's just that all that yen strength that's been pushing today, they've stopped pumping the yen. Therefore, all the other currencies have now got an opportunity to reverse those positions. So it's a push and a pull, right? Don't forget, there's 10 big banks, right, that control around about 75% of all currency transaction trades. Do you think they are talking to each other? Would it make financial sense for Bank A to say, I'm going to be doing this with the US dollar today, and Bank B going, brilliant, I'll buy all of that if I can sell it back to you this afternoon? I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but would that make logical sense of a way to make money if you were in a bank and there's only 10 of you playing the game? Just saying. Can you talk about timing of exits on something like NAS while we're watching the thing fly? Want to hold as long as possible, but don't want to lose gains on a pullback either. Right, so yeah, exits are difficult. So the way that I look at targets, it's if you're trading with a stop, fine. It's a risk reward thing. It's very simple, isn't it? You basically go long here on this reversal alert. You stick your stop under there. You measure that, and you put your TP higher than that. If where you think it's going to bounce, maybe here, is not far enough, you don't take the trade. Very simple. So risk reward when you're trading with a stop is very simple. When you're position trading, it's much, much, much more complex because there's a lot more factors at play. How much have I banked this week? How much have I banked this month? How much drawdown have I got on the table at the moment? How many positions have I got on and where am I expecting it to go? Will all be indicative of whether you take a position off or not. You saw me just take a NAS off there, yeah, and I took it off with a trailing stop and I've just banked 1.4% on it. Yeah, so the reason I took that off is because I've got another position in profit below that level. So I had that one down here at that point that I said we would bounce at. And or potentially bounce that, and obviously not guaranteed. And that pushed then above this position. So I put a trailer on it because I've still got this position now in profit. So why not put this in the bank and make sure that my account has now grown by 1.4%? I could hold it. I think it's coming up here because this is the next level of potential resistance based on the moves from yesterday. Big selling pressure came in. We pulled into it and got rejected. We know there's a load of people defending and selling out of the area. So that's where your TP is. Where's the next area it could potentially be? Up there. Yeah, and this is what I mainly use the gap indicator for, is to tell me where the buyers and the sellers are, because the market moves from buyers to sellers, obviously, as we know, from buy zones to sell zones, support to resistance, etc., etc. So that's literally all I'm doing, is I'm drawing lines on the chart, looking at areas which are support and resistance based. So this level here, yeah, we pushed up into it, went nah. We went and had a battle over it for ages during the Asian session. We popped up, we tried to get through it again and went nope. We tried again, we tried again, we tried again, and we finally crashed it. And then we said, right, I want to go back higher, and it went nope. So where do you think it's going to go? Where do you think it's likely to stall next? Everybody's selling from here. Everybody's selling from here. We're pushing up at the moment. So where are we going to go? Into this sell zone here and bounce down, or bounce down and then back up again into that area. So you literally are looking above your head wherever you've got into your position and thinking, where am I going to run into trouble? So that's where my TP is. Next one is there. But I could hold this. I'm pretty sure this is going to the moon. Yeah, I mean, my long-term forecast for this, NAS, is up here. We're going to put in a new high. I would bet my house on it if someone wants to take that. It's not a bad house. I bet a house on the fact that we're going to make a new high this year. I don't know when we're going to make it, but we're going to make it. We're going to make a new high this year because we always do. But I don't want to hold this all the way up until there. I could do, but what I want to do is build a bank. Yeah? So I want to make my... What am I doing? I'm clicking the wrong buttons. I want to make this. This is guaranteed. This is in my... I've made this 875. It's in my bank. I can withdraw this out and go and spend it this afternoon on a new sofa if I want to. I'd rather have profit in there. And when this pulls back, if it pulls back, I can get in again and get out again. If this thing goes into a range like this for 3 weeks, it would be absolutely amazing, because all I would do is just keep buying it down here and selling it up there. So I'd make that many trades and put that much bank over here. Or I could just hold the lot and get up to there. But that's going to take ages. So I just look to get out where I think we're going to run into trouble. Asian high. Yeah, very, very short term, Asian high, we're going to run into trouble. Why is that dropping off of there? Because there's a load of pending orders up there. Because everybody that plays the breakouts puts their pending orders above and below session highs and lows. So the market comes up and grabs those. And now the sellers were like, yep, everybody's doing a stop hunt. We're all going to jump in short. And the buyers went, nah, and they're pushing it again. But we don't know, do we? So you just have to set levels. There's no right or wrong, and it's a very, very personal thing for this style of trading. But if you're using stops, it's very, very easy, isn't it? It's a risk reward, 1.5 risk reward minimum or above. If you're trading longer term, you might want to go for 3-to-1, 4-to-1, 5-to-1. But if you're a position trader, you're going to have multiple positions on. And it's basically who's got the biggest balls at the end of the day, isn't it? How long can you hold? If you really want to hold, right, do this. Watch that. Or go and watch Netflix for 2 hours and then come back and see where the NAS is. Likely today, possibly, I don't know, we're getting some resistance here, aren't we? But likely today, in 2 hours, we'll be maybe up here. But if you don't watch it, you won't take it off. I can't really give you any more advice than that. But levels. It's all about levels. The whole market is about levels. We know this because we can see it over and over again. It's all about levels. Yeah. When we get to these levels, we turn. It's the same level, look. We just popped up against above it and below it and above it. Bang. But it's the same level. It's this level here. And then we pushed back down into this level here. And it works on all time frames. Support, resistance, supply, demand, whatever you want to call it. It's the same on all time frames. The lower the time frame you go, it works on M1. Not as easy to spot on M1, obviously, but this level here, is that level there, is that level there, is that level there, is that level there, and we crashed into it and dropped back down to it and we bounced into it again. This is a strong support and resistance on the 1 minute chart, but this is being traded by algorithms. This is, and some humans, but this is mainly algorithmic trading. Obviously crazy trading M1, but if you can make it work, you're not crazy, obviously, but you know, so it's that's really all you do with targets. That's all I do with targets. All the way that I view them anyway. Yen looks to be weakening as SPY is pumping. Yeah. I made my most profit off the Aussie dollar pairs today. Cool. Aussie dollar, US dollar. Yeah, I'd called the Aussie dollar, US dollar mainly off the back of US dollar strength, but we haven't really got that, have we? So, but yeah, nice reverse alert, retest, drop into this area, which we are finding buyers. Yeah. Buyers buying, accumulating. Buyers buying again, accumulating. Buyers buying again, selling off, taking profits, buying again. Potentially. That's how the market works. They do exactly the same as you and I, except they do it with 1,000 lots at a time instead of 0.01 or whatever you trade. You took 1.2% on the NAS trade from the low today. Yeah. Yeah, so that's 1.4% off of that NAS trade. There's my S&P, so this should be NAS, shouldn't it? So, I mean, you can see why I took this trade, yeah? Buyers. This is where all the buyers stepped in to start this move. And they stepped in here. This is brilliant. This is textbook explanation. Again, look. Yeah. Big buying pressure. Went into an accumulation phase. The buyers won. They took profit. Yeah. Into the area they wanted to get in again. Pulled back. Entered more positions. Pulled back. The sellers here got stuck and then crashed it. Now the sellers went out and they get back down into the next buy zone, which we are currently fighting over. So we're getting stuck. You're getting, look, I mean, it's just, I labour the point, but sellers stepped in. Buyers pushed up, found some selling pressure. So who's going to win this? Just what we're doing now is there's a load of people whacking the buy, hitting the bid. There's a load of people hitting the offer. We're buying, we're selling, we're buying, selling. Somebody's going to win. We're either going to crack that level or we're not. And if we don't crack that level, we're going to pull back down into here and we're going to see if there's enough buying pressure to whack them through the next time. It's just a constant battle. The bulls and the bears. So 15-minute candles are shut. We've got our 15-minute levels. So there's a 15-minute low, 15-minute high, if I could click it. So S&P, same thing. S&P trying to push through. All-time high on the NAS, yeah, later on towards market close. Today? No, we're not going to get an all-time high on the NAS today. Not today. Wouldn't that be a thing? God. Look at the size of the candle we've got to put in to make an all-time high on the NAS. We've got to move... I can't even read it. 122,000 pips on a 3,500. Is that right? ADR instrument. That's not going to happen. Not today. I'd love that to happen today. That'd be done. I wouldn't do another live room this month. That'd be me done for the month. But yeah, if we can put a bullish engulfing in today, I would be over the moon if we can get a bullish engulfing today on the NAS and the S&P. That would be lovely. But I don't think that's necessarily possible. You've got to think about the price action we've already put in today here, for example. That we've already done this much movement today. So we're asking the market to do 3 times that movement in the New York session. So, you know, this candle here is 933 pips. Today we've already moved 609. So there's only about 300 pip movement difference between that candle and this candle at the moment. It's just that we've pulled down into support and pushed off. So unlikely we're going to get anything that big. But would be nice. Keep going, as far as I'm concerned. Keep on pushing. I took the GA when you were talking earlier for a quarter of an ADR, and it's already hit. Perfect. Yeah. Oh, what, you took GA this afternoon, did you? Yeah, 30 pips. It's already done. Reversal of that. Off of ADR. Perfect ADR trade, look. This is exactly what we're looking for with ADR trades. Nice tight reversal alert at ADR. Quarter to a half an ADR. Move to the downside. Out. Done. Scalped. That's what the ADR is all about. Took the same trade and trying to figure out lot sizing. For me, that turned out to 0.2 lots. Turned into about 0.2% at that distance. 0.4. Yeah, you need to figure out your lots. Every broker's different. You've got to play around. So if you use an indicator to measure lot sizing, I'm just trying to think of the name of the one that I use. I've accumulated a fair few indicators over my time. I can't remember what it's called, but there's loads of lot size calculators out there. Go and put some on your chart and put different lot sizing in and see what it says your risk and reward is going to be. You can kind of gauge then what you need to get into with lot sizing. It's very difficult. It's different from different brokers. It all depends on your base currency. Yeah. So if you're trading US dollar, if you're trading pound US dollar and go long on it, and you've got a dollar account, you're going to have a completely different cost per pip to me because I've got a pound account. So you've got that conversion from the buy and the sell of the currencies to take into account as well. So you really need to do that yourself. Find out lot sizing, what you need it to be. So NAS, we've just hit my next level. Bank 0.4 here. No, we can bank 1%, 1.2% here. So he's still pushing NAS S&P. We're getting up into a choppy area here. Let's come out to 15 so we can see it a bit clearer. So we're riding into this congestion area, consolidation, accumulation. A lot of buying and selling gone on here. So again, today's volume profile will look something like that. So this is a big volume spike. This will be the point of control probably for today, which is quite often an area that we get some kind of rejection from. On the S&P, obviously, on the NAS, we've smashed it already. We're above the Asian high, so. Yeah, Come on. So yeah, I have my own. I can see the lot sizing, pip distance is fine. It's my risk tolerance that I'm trying to figure out. That's the hard bit. There's no, unfortunately, there's no book on that bit. I'm just going to bank that and put it on again. Not at that size, I'm not. So I've just taken another NAS profit. It's a tiny little move there. Obviously, we're getting some rejection coming in here, basically because the S&P is getting stuck here. And we've just tapped into this level here, look. Yeah, so strong support is turning into resistance. So just taking that position off in case we're going to get a strong pullback. Big buy zone here, so I've put a buy limit on. If we can get down into here, I'll take another position. What have I got on the S&P? I haven't got enough money on that really. So up to 2.17 now. Banked. Oh, I'm getting close to banking some S&P, some pound US dollar as well. Got 0.5% floating on that. It's coming down so hard there. So again, TP. So I'm on talking about TP. Where do we take TP? You can see my TP here. This is the Asian high from yesterday. This is the propulsion move from this accumulation. This is where I would expect to see some support. In fact, I'm going to go for halfway into that. The difference between that is £15 and that is £18. I would rather see us do a 50% fill bounce and get out than do a 50% fill and me sit here and going, oh, it got so close to my TP. How many times have we said that? Quite often they will move into, we know why they move into these zones. They move into these zones because there's buying pressure. The buyers then reject it, which means they quite often will not manage to get all the way through that zone. They'll get pushed out before we get there. So by putting your TP halfway, it's a lot safer than having it down here. But are we getting US dollar strength? Oh, actually, we're getting US dollar strength as well. So yeah, that probably will come through, smashing through that ADR today. But I've got two positions on that up here. So this is my manual one. I'm just taking in profit on. The EA will be trading one ADR for me. So that will be getting out. That will be getting out here. So yeah. They're same trade basically. Okay, pulling back nicely on the NAS. And the S&P coming down as well. Okay, so we just tapped into this buying pressure. So this is the sort of Asian midline. Good area to buy from here. I've got a position on just at these highs, so I don't really want to get in. It's a little bit too close. But I'm happy to get in down here if we push down there. Euro US dollar also selling off nicely now. Didn't really retest the price box at the top. Yeah, so Euro US dollar, obviously we got massive US dollar strength coming through. So obviously everything will be coming down against the US dollar at the moment. Euro probably harder than most because Euro's got nothing to battle with, and that is inverse. So if you look at the US dollar index and the Euro US dollar, they are inverse of each other. So if you haven't got a lot of brokers don't have the US dollar index on their symbol list. So if you want to know what the US dollar index is doing, get your laptop, put the Euro US dollar on it, and flip your laptop upside down. That's what the Dixie's doing. Helpful trading hint. So if you want to, just get your laptop hung upside down on your wall, and then you'll have the Dixie on a monitor. That is assuming you've got another spare laptop lying around. Or just move to a broker that's really helpful and gives you the Dixie. It would be a much easier thing to do, actually, than mucking about your laptop. So pushing up out of this support rectangle on the NAS and S&P. Still going. So looking like we want to push higher today. I would hope to see a good ADR push today on both of these, at least up into here, but let's see how far we can get. I was joking about the laptop, by the way, Chris. Don't really do that. Most brokers have got the Dixie now. I do find it weird. I find it strange how some brokers still limit you to very, very limited instruments. I guess it's a liquidity issue with a lot of them. Yes, Peter, you're quite right. You'd need a mirror too. Yeah, if you're going to hang it upside down, you are also going to need to see the mirror image of it. Otherwise, it's going to be trading right to left, isn't it? Yeah, scrap that idea. It's a really bad idea. Just get a broker that's got the Dixie on it. But you don't need it anyway because you've got your US dollar. So, you know, whatever this is doing, you know, if this is coming down, you know the US dollar's going up, basically, and vice versa. But Euro US dollar, obviously, that level. Got a reversal alert up there. So, nice 80 pip move down on that from the alert. Could I ask you something? Do you have indicator for MT5 that shows market open times for Asia, London and New York? I don't know because I don't trade MT5. But Google it. Google session times. There'll be loads out there. Session indicator MT5. There you go. There's a free one on the market on MQL5. Trade sessions indicator. Let's download that one. I don't know how configurable it is. Can't see the inputs, but yeah, try that. That'll probably work. So nice NAS movement again. Still pushing. We're above the highs. Of the 15-minute breakout. Same with S&P. So supporting nicely. So again, remember what I said yesterday? I think it was yesterday. Really nice way to trade opening range breakouts, or ORBs as they're called, is to wait for price to push outside of the 15-minute opening range, pull back into the 15-minute opening range, and then close back above the 15-minute opening range. Yeah, that's your entry long. Just opening range breakout. Very, very simple strategy. Traded in stocks for years. You can trade that with all stocks. Opening range breakouts. Some people even play the M5 5-minute opening range breakout, which in this case would have been here. But you would typically play a bounce off of it of some description. But used to trade that in stocks. IC Markets has US Tech 100, but minimum lot size is 1. Yeah, so what IC Markets are doing there is they're mimicking the futures market where you have to enter with one contract. So they're limiting you to one contract long. It depends what they are pricing one contract at. So you would have to basically enter one contract long. But the way to do it, if you want to know what it's going to cost you, really simple. Go up there and enter one contract long as a buy stop. Enter stop on it. Oh, too many notes. Oh, what did I do with that? Hang on. Wasn't enough notes. 690 that should be. There you go. So, and then drag that down your chart and see how much it's going to cost you. Hover over it, yeah. So this one's going to cost me £1,061. If yours says something like £10.61, you know they're charging cents on a contract, or they've priced the contract at cents rather than dollars or pounds or whatever your base currency is. So that's the way to do it. Just put a pending order. Make sure I mean, that's a bit close. If that triggered, probably wouldn't trigger. But yeah, so just put it further up. Put it up here somewhere on, switch over to the daily chart and stick a pending up there. It's never going to hit. But you can then obviously drag your stop and see what the cost is going to be. So it's a nice, easy way to find out what you should be using and whether you can trade it. It's why I moved away from IC Markets. I used to trade IC Markets. They used to be my main broker at one point. But when I started investing in the S&P with, I've got an account which I run on the S&P, which is kind of like my hedge fund, not a hedge fund, my pension fund, which has got way more money in it. And it's kind of, I didn't want to be locked into taking one contract long, which is why I started hunting for a broker that would let me go in micro increments. You just have to hunt for a decent broker. Which again is a personal choice, brokers. But I'm not affiliated with Axie or Pepperstone or IC or anybody in any way. But just go and do your own due diligence on it. There's a lot of them out there. Okay, so we seem to be stalling at the 15-minute high on the NAS. Nice V-shaped recovery going on in S&P, but again we're getting stuck in the Asian accumulation phase. So we need to just break this level. And the Asian highs on the S&P. Obviously it just moves slower, the S&P, so if we get a decent push off the NAS, we should get some movement. But I think this might want to pull back a little bit deeper today. We'll see. Euro Swiss seems to have stalled out. US dollar yen has stalled out as well. So everything's stalling out a little bit at the moment. It's US dollar move. It's got stuck. My Euro Swissy has got stuck. It's got way more down on this today, but we got basically New York's just opened into an accumulation on that, so probably not going to get a lot of movement on the Euro and the Swiss this afternoon. NAS is supporting very nicely. Don't like these wicks. We're getting really hammered by the sellers at the minute. A lot of selling pressure coming in up here. Just looking at the earnings reports, what's going on with the earnings reports as well. All down. Stock prices are all down on Citigroup, JP Morgan and Wells Fargo in the open. But we've still had a big, strong, obviously, push up. So that's good. Market's strong in light of the news releases today being negative. Well, not negative, but the stock price is coming down. So all good. Looks like it's a strong day. So ideal situation for me today would get 175 ADR push on these two. I'm going to try and hold on to the rest of the positions I've got on these and try and get them both across the line for break evens. If I can do that, what I'm probably going to do is just concentrate on the S&P next week. Rather than trading both of these. I don't usually trade both of these together because obviously I'm doubling my exposure, because obviously every time I hit the buy button on both of these, I'm doing the same thing in essence, aren't I? So so I kind of just want to get one of these up to break even really, and then just leave one running, but I'll see which gets where, because I've got more positions on the NAS at the moment than I have on the S&P. But I like to go into the weekends obviously as flat as I possibly can, in case of natural disasters over the weekend, like Boris Johnson having a party or something like that. Sorry if you're a Conservative. Gotta laugh. Okay, pushing up new highs of the day on the S&P and the NAS. So NAS has convincingly broken the Asian high of the day. So nice new structure. It's trying to be formed. It's struggling a little bit here. But hopefully we'll get through up to here. This area here, this support here, which we broke, this has already been retested. So as far as zones go for selling, this is a lot weaker, this area, purely because we have already retested that area. So we've pulled out of this. which means obviously it's been retested. So the sellers have defended that area already. So it depends how many sellers are left in. Obviously, unlikely to be too many because they've probably taken profit on this move already. So this area shouldn't be too difficult to break. But obviously, by the time we reach this area today, if we do get up there, we're going to be up at 100 to 125% of the normal range that we put in on the NAS. So the price will naturally start to slow up there anyway. So we'll probably see this becoming roughly the high today if we can get up there, which would be, as I said earlier, a nice 50% retracement roughly on yesterday's candle, which would be obviously an inside bar, but a nice bullish inside bar ready to push up next week. Got to get there first though, and we've hit support and resistance there, so we haven't cracked that yet. So this is what I'm saying about strong resistance here. Tested 3 times, bounced off of it, bounced off of it, bounced off of it. When we cracked it, we couldn't get through again. Tried again earlier, tried again just now. So good strong resistive area that. S&P pulling back too. Pound still coming down nicely against the US dollar. Nowhere to stop. Till we get down there. See how far the US dollar's got to go as well. So if we can break this area here, yesterday's high, which we've just stalled at, there's literally open sky until here. So plenty of room. If we can get this US dollar moving, plenty of room today to put in a really decent move if it wants to. What's everybody doing this weekend? Anything nice planned? Anybody doing anything extreme other than the usual? I've got nothing on this weekend. It's really nice. I like having free weekends. Just wing it. Anybody doing anything crazy like rock climbing or skydiving? Or are you all as boring as me? Maybe a bit of DIY to push the boat out. That would be pushing the boat out. I hate DIY. Or Reno, as you call it in the US. If you're in the US and other parts of the world and you don't understand what I'm talking about, just say. Because I know we've got some very different ways of saying stuff. Tomato, tomato, and all that malarkey. Malarkey, there you go. There's one. Probably means absolutely nothing if you're not in the UK. Probably doesn't mean a lot to you if you are in the UK, actually. Drinking lots of wine, that's my man. That's what I like to do at weekends. Nice bottle of red. It's a good point, actually. I'm out. Do need to go to the shop. Bit of drone flying. Sunny down in Sussex, hopefully. Sunny down in Sussex. I haven't looked at the weather this weekend. That's a good point. That determines what I'm doing. Luke's going to hit the gym. I'm doing that at 5 o'clock today. I should be down spinning. What's the weather this weekend? Guy, it's bad when you're talking about the weather, isn't it, when you're trading? Because for the last 20 minutes, we've literally gone nowhere. Not too bad this weekend. That'll do. Bit of dog walking. Not great. Rain on Sunday, potentially. Oh, 70% chance of rain. Take that back. Cloudy tomorrow. 70% chance of rain. The norm. The norm for the UK. Yeah, gym weekend. Bar and gym. Obviously, gym first. Not a good idea to go to the gym after the bar. So we're struggling at this level at the moment on the NAS. Looks like we want to come down for a little bit. So we'll see how this buying holds up if we are going to pop down a little bit. Look for some kind of pullback out of there. Same with the S&P. Spinning is cycling indoors, basically. Yeah, basically. It's cycling incredibly intensively indoors to trance music. Basically, it's just like going to the disco. Disco. God, how old am I? It's like going to a nightclub. But on a bike. Doesn't get any better than that. I love cycling. I grew up in the 90s, so I'm a raver. And I can go and cycle while I'm raving. The only thing missing is what I used to do when I was raving. Drinking, obviously. So yeah, it's brilliant. But yeah, 45 is hit. It's basically a hit workout. So I've got one of the bikes. So basically, yeah, it's just going mental on a spin bike, basically. There you go. Not that close. That's a bit close, that. But that's basically what I do. Most of the people in my gym don't look like that, though. It's funny when you see all these adverts, like, and images. It's like the people at spin classes don't look like that. If they looked like that, they wouldn't be at a spin class, would they? But anyway, so we are still holding up. We haven't broken that M5 support yet. Still going well. Probably a good area to buy here. Retesting. So next bullish candle out of here. Potentially could be a next leg up. We're just accumulating positions here. Ready to pounce. Head spinning. Yeah. We had a German spinning instructor who used to blast psytrance at the gym when he gave his classes. It's the best thing to spin to. EDM, electronic dance music, is the best thing to spin to, because it's fast and it's got a solid beat going through it, and that's what you need. You need to match the beat to your pedal stroke, and it's all about keeping in line with the music, basically. So, you know, if you stick a load of orchestral stuff on, you can't spin to it. So it tends to be very dance music orientated, which is right up my alley anyway. So, yeah, it's great. It's the only thing I'll go and do at the gym, though. I hate the gym. I can't go to a gym and do running machines and weights and all that stuff. I don't have the attention span for it. But anything that's like got pumping hardcore, I'm all over it. You should try it. And it's I mean, I burn 700 calories in a spin class. I do a lot more than most people, but I do burn a lot. And that's a bottle of wine. Think about it. So I'm going to go spinning at 5 o'clock. I can come home tonight and have a bottle of wine and completely negate that bottle of wine. Also, your metabolism after doing HIIT training, like spinning or anything HIIT, high intensity workouts, your metabolism is much faster. So what you eat and drink after spinning is burnt off quicker. There you go, some science. Looking like we're breaking down on the NAS. We got, this is actually a new candle, isn't it? So we did hold. We are tapping back into this buy area here, so it's holding up well, but it's looking heavy. We've got a real battle going on at the moment. Hopefully we don't go into a rotation day today and just sit here. That would be very disappointing. But it is earnings week next week. Obviously, next week we've got massive earnings announced as well. We've got Goldman Sachs on Tuesday. Not specifically for the NAS, but Netflix as well. Which has been, Netflix's stock price has been coming down quite hard. This is very Bitcoin-esque, isn't it? So, big rally into Christmas, but since just before Christmas, we've been tumbling down on Netflix. So, be interesting to see what that comes out as. We've got some big. Obviously, the week after, that's a huge week. Be a lot of movement. We've got Apple, Tesla. So for NAS, 26th of Jan, 27th of Jan, going to be, and AMD as well, Microsoft. It's all happening that week. Should see some really good movement on the NAS that week. That's probably when we'll make our new highs. So if you think maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 days, maybe be somewhere up here. And then that will give us the push out the top. Hopefully. But it's looking very rotational today at the minute, unfortunately. Early doors though. It's only 3:30. Market's only been open for an hour. It's got a good 5 or 6 hours ahead of us, although it is Friday afternoon. Quite often gets flat after lunch. New York. But yeah, dull. Pound US dollar still pushing. Nearly at TP on that. Approaching ADR. Euro Swiss coming down again. So further push down on that one. So first real strong. This is obviously a massively strong supportive area here. Really did not want to crack that level. Very resistive on the way back up. We've cracked this area here, this accumulation here. We've got this little bit here which we've kind of knocked into on yesterday's low, but it's cracked through. So this level here is potentially the sticking point before we get down there. So decent roof down to ADR available on that Euro Swiss if they can power that up enough this afternoon, but more than likely into next week. Just going to hold that. Well, the EA will just get me out of that when it gets where I want it to be. Still supporting off this buy area here. S&P, same thing. Wicks to the downside, which is good. This is where the impatience part of being a trader comes in. You just want this just to, you know it's going to do it. You just want it to hurry up and do it so you can get on with stuff. Just want it to go up so I can get on with stuff. Fortunately, it takes a while. I might call it a day there. I mean, my plan obviously for this afternoon is to scale out as we get up on these. but we're very slow moving. I don't want to sit here all day just waffling, waiting for the movements to kick in. But we've made new highs on the Asian session on the NAS, S&P. We are still stuck Asian range, London range, but it's looking bullish. The sellers, if the sellers were going to take over today, I would have expected them to do it by now. But you never know. It could still happen this afternoon. But looks to me like we are wanting to make new highs here. So the market structure obviously would be the low here and high. Some kind of pullback before we push. And this could well be just the pullback here. Same story obviously there. Breakout above the highs. So that's what I'm expecting to happen this afternoon. We'll just monitor it really and see what happens. But I don't want to sit here all afternoon just watching a 5-minute chart go up and down sideways. So I've got the EA running, which will take profits for me automatically. And I've got no TP set, actually. You've got TP set on the S&P on that position there. But the EA is going to get me out at 1 ADR on all of these positions. And obviously it's not going to be getting, I don't think we're going to get up to 150 ADR today. Be very surprised, but we might do. It doesn't look like those earnings today were as good as expected. Otherwise, we would have seen a much stronger rally out the open, which we haven't got. So we could well just go into a horrible sideways rotation today. As I said, we've already pushed well. The NAS has already done a decent range today. Yeah, we've put in 285 off of 350, so we've put in almost an ADR, not far off. So we'll see. But if you're going to continue trading this afternoon, obviously, good luck. Obviously, I will be buying. If we do manage to get down to here and get a retest down at this area, obviously above the 15-minute open, then yeah, I should be entering another position, waiting for that. Spring hopefully this afternoon. So and pound US and euro Swiss, US dollar yen I've got long, which again is stalling out a little bit. Pound US dollar short is nearly down at TP again. Slow. It's just slow, isn't it, at the moment? This New York session, good pullback at the moment going on the NAS, S&P, and euro Swiss. That's all I've got on. And Euro Swiss, obviously, I'm short. If we can get a break of the London lows today, we should get a nice little tumble down there. And I'll probably take one of those off, but not really got a massive amount to bank on those at the moment, so I'm going to leave them running probably. But yeah, overall, been a good week. 16% banked this week. Most of that obviously on the NAS and the S&P. Fair bit on Forex as well, but so good month so far. If it carries on like this, I did 48% last month, so we're halfway through the month now on the 14th. So if it carries on like this, I'm on target for roughly a similar month, but that's assuming obviously we get the push on the S&P and the NAS this afternoon. And obviously then the continuation into next week. And that will be me done for the month. Very nice. Okay, guys. So if you need anything, let me know. I'm in the Telegram group all the time. Give me a thumbs up on the video if you liked it on the stream. And obviously, I will be around at weekend. I'm always around. So if you want to ask anything at the weekends, I'm always dipping in and out of the Telegram channel. But I'll be back Monday at 8:30, same time. Nice rejection on the S&P. Out of that area at the moment, so it's all looking like it wants to go in the right direction, isn't it? So yeah, I'll be back at 8:30 on Monday morning as normal. We'll do a full analysis of the week ahead from a news perspective, and obviously have a look at what's changed on the Commitment of Traders report on Monday morning, and then just do an analysis of every pair and where we think we might be going this week. Monday. We've got a bank holiday in the US. I think is it Martin Luther King Day? It's a bank holiday. I can't remember which one it is. I'm useless. If you've been in, yeah, it's Martin Luther King Day. Yeah, if you've been in the live room for a while, you know how useless I am with US holidays and what they are. I call Thanksgiving in March. Not that bad, but yeah. So bank holiday. So we may well have a fairly flat day on Monday. So for the New York session, but quite often London goes fairly flat as well. So it might be a bit of a boring day on Monday, but we'll do the normal analysis on Monday morning. Come on as usual Monday afternoon, and we'll see basically what happens. But if we don't get a lot of movement on Monday afternoon, I'll probably just call it early. So, and then we got yen news as well next week as well. But I'll go through all that on Monday. All right, so have a good weekend, everybody. Hopefully we get this strong push on the NAS to finish the day off on a high, which would be lovely. I will post results in the Telegram group later on today, show you where I finished up for the day, the week, etc. But other than that, have a great weekend, and I'll be back on Monday morning.